Audio check 1, 2, 3. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Motive Racing channel. We're 5 laps into the Purple Sector Racing League Thursday night Formula 1 League race here. Obviously, the race 2 nights a week, Tuesday and Thursday, and we're here at Singapore tonight for, I don't know which round this is in the season, but I think we're quite a way into the season. I don't know if they run the races in order of the championship. If it is, then we're coming towards the business end of the season. But it's currently Teza Muzza leading the way here in this race. He's got 3 seconds at the moment back to David Barry, who's got heavy pressure from Bennett LCFC. Bennett, though, running on the medium tyres in a very good position here in this race. Obviously, he'll be able to go long into this first in. And we've got a VSC here, so I'm not quite sure why. As you can see at the bottom, we've lost Street Boy, and we've also lost some guy called Andy_C_WFC. Not quite sure who the Andy_C_WFC guy is, but yeah, he's crashed out of the race quite early on, so maybe he accidentally forgot to press spectate when he jumped in the session. But nonetheless, VSC here, so somebody's obviously lost their front wing somewhere, and well, David Barry's coming into the pits, so he's making the most of the VSC, but so is the race leader Teza Muzza, and Bennett LCFC on those medium tyres is staying out for the time being, so going for track position. He's obviously missing out on a potential lifeline here. Obviously, with coming into the pits under the virtual safety car, you do actually lose a lot less time than you would if you were pitting at normal time. So Teza Muzza and David Barry will benefit from that, as we see Ahmed, George SSJ and Darren all coming into the pits as well here at the end of lap 5. Apologies we weren't on for the start of this race. We missed the first like 20% of the race, just down to the fact that we were a little bit preoccupied. I was having a quite a deep chat with a good mate of mine, Lightblade, and well, he's becoming quite a good mate now. I just got caught up there. Basically, we just haven't got a deep conversation. Lightblade, if you're watching, he knows the score. But not his fault, completely my fault, completely lost track of the time. But we can see right now, in fact it's actually him that reminded me that we're meant to be streaming. But nonetheless, Matty Pitt currently coming into the pits. You've got Tina Latifi out at the moment. Tina Latifi's the only driver to have picked up a time penalty in this race so far. So he's been overstepping those track limits. We're not going to go through the whole brief and the whole rant about how the track limits are given out. I think we all know by now how the track limit penalties work here on this Formula 1 game. But right now, Bennett has an 18-second lead. He's still yet to pit in this race. But then again, Teza Muzza and David Barry are also still yet to pit, because they're not going to go 26 laps on one set of medium tyres, especially not around a track like Singapore. So they'll definitely have to be in at some point. Probably, I reckon they could probably go to the thick end of the race and put the softs on at the end. They should be able to do that from here, but never say never. They might end up tearing up after a little while. Oh, Mats Nuts is in the lobby. Mats Nuts is here. Just noticed him on the timing board. He's only about a second off at the back of Rexy Boy at the moment. Good to see the Mats Nuts showing up here tonight for this Purple Sector Racing League. I know he's getting involved in as many F1 leagues as he can at the moment, and it's good to see him out on track as he's running in between Rexy Boy and Ahmed at the moment, as these guys are currently battling it out over 4th, 5th and 6th places. Lightblade, it says evening in the comments. Good to see you, Lightblade. Regular supporter here. I'm just noticing here, the Mats Nuts hasn't got a helmet on. Look at his driver. Oh my god. He hasn't even got a helmet on. It's literally just like it's just the driver's head and a fire suit on, and he's got no helmet. So let's hope there's no flying debris here. But the Mats Nuts nonetheless unfazed by that and moves through ahead of Rexy Boy up into 4th, and now MS looking to the outside of Rexy Boy as well. And is he going to get that done there? Yes, he does. Ahmed's there up into 5th place. So the Mats Nuts gaining position despite not even having a crash helmet on at this point. You got Pat Stappen currently on the back of Darren, battling out over 8th and 9th places at the moment, as these two continue to go at it. Bennett's got the lead 16 seconds ahead of the rest of them, but he's still got a pit. He's probably, well, I don't know if he's going to try and one stop in this race. If you can get the car to a decent point in this race, maybe he is going to try that one stop. He's obviously got to use either the softs or the hards, as you can't use 2 sets of mediums in one race, so he's going to have to switch tyres and go on to another compound. So it's going to be a tricky one. Does he play it safe and put the hards on and get himself to the end guaranteed, or does he try and go along these mediums and give himself the faster but less durable soft tyres at the end as we go back to the battle between the Nuts and Ahmed, who's still going at it for 4th place. You've got George SSJ on the back of Rexy Boys. Tezza has done the fastest lap of the race there. 1 minute 40.6 in the Mercedes as Rexy Boy bit deep. George SSJ swoops through up into P6. Nicely done there from George. Rexy Boy, they just got a little bit overcooked there, and George did not need a second invitation. Pat Verstappen's currently still clinging to the back of Darren at this. A voice chat there. I don't know what he's saying because we're currently in a party chat, but Ahmed's currently on the back of the Nuts as these two battle it out over 4th and 5th places here, and Ahmed looking like he's almost tagging the Nuts in the rear there as they come down this little stretch of the track. DRS will be open for Ahmed, so shall I say, and he's going to get a great run here coming through this part of the track. I think it's called Raffles Boulevard, and Ahmed there goes down the inside up into 4th place, and that's a good move there from him. As Pat Verstappen's still on the back of Darren as these two battle it out for 8th and 9th places here at the Alpine, currently trying to put the McLaren under as much pressure as he possibly can. As we're still in the early stages of this race, we're about a quarter of the way in here at Singapore for the Singapore Grand Prix at the Purple Sector F1 League here on the PS4 and PS5 platforms, crossplay obviously for the F1 game on PlayStation. And yeah, right now it's these two battling it out for 8th and 9th, and you've also got George SSJ pretty close. Tagged all a little bit, and that was all George needed to move up. Oh, we got a black screen. We have got a black screen. Why? I'm sorry. I'm not going to get angry. I'm not going to go crazy and lose my temper, but that is a very annoying indeed. As Rexy Boy's got himself into P6 here ahead of the Nuts, so the Nuts is into the pits. That is why that has transpired. But nonetheless, lap 9 of 31 here. We're less than a third of the way into the race. We obviously joined only a couple of laps ago, and yeah, since we jumped in, Bennett's taken the lead because Tezza Muzza, the net race leader, has been into the pits. You've got David Barry, or I don't know, he might fancy a bit of Spanish. But yeah, he's currently about just under 3 seconds behind Tezza Muzza at this point. As you got the Nuts still in the pits, Tila Tifi moving through up into the points paying positions there. But yeah, it's everyone's just a bit spread out at the moment. Not really too much going on at this point. We've got 7 of you currently watching on the stream here on YouTube, on the Motive Racing channel here on YouTube. If you guys do enjoy, please drop a like on the video. It helps us out more than you know. It really does. Believe me, it does make a difference. Your subscription, your likes, it really does make a lot of difference, because we're a small channel, obviously. The PlayStation sim racing community, not exactly the biggest. You know, it's just a fair few people, but it's not. You know, it's quite hard to make it as a PlayStation sim league or as a sim racing channel like obviously we are here at Motive. We don't just stream our own league, we stream leagues like this one, Purple Sector. You know, we stream multiple leagues. We are a sim racing channel. We're not just a Motive, although we are obviously called Motive, but nonetheless, you know, we stream all sim leagues of all kinds. You know, ACC, F1. Wouldn't be opposed to streaming a Project Cars 2 league either. I mean, I do like Project Cars 2 quite a lot. Used to play it practically every day of my life until I just couldn't hack it anymore. But Darren currently on the back of Rexy Boy here, battling it out over 6th and 7th places into turn 1. Need a bit too far back at the moment. Tila Tifi's still on the back of Andrew Pittsmith here. But yeah, the battle's just kind of spreading out here. Tila Tifi has picked up a 3-second time penalty there for multiple track limit warnings. We've just seen that one pop up on the screen, as he's still just about within a second of Andrew Pittsmith at the moment as they're coming over the line to complete the 9th lap of the race. And Darren's on the back of Rexy Boys. He's looking down the inside, and Darren makes the move there up into P6, goes a little bit wide on the exit, gets his stop though nicely, and Darren has made that move there up into 6th place in this race, as Rexy Boys still just behind him. You've got Pat Verstappen there in 8th place, as Rexy Boys now got a 3-second time penalty for track limits, so that has not gone to plan at all there for him. And he's now the 3rd driver to pick up a time penalty here in this race, joining the likes of Tila Tifi and Matty Pitt in that particular category. But at this point, Pat Verstappen's looking to try and get this move done here on Rexy. Rexy was a little bit wide there coming out of that corner, but Pat's still not really quite close enough to just make it happen. He's looking to the inside here, a little bit too far back to send one at the moment. Tila Tifi's on the back of Andrew Pittsmith as these two continue to fight it out for 9th and 10th places here at the moment. But back to the battle here between 7th and 8th. Well, let's go back to this one actually, because it looked like Andrew got a bit of a shaky run there out of that left-hander. No, he's got it good for the time being. But yeah, Andrew bit wide, misses the apex ever so slightly, and he waves to Latifi past. So he says, "Go on after you, my good sir." And Latifi says, "Thank you very much for holding the door open there for me. I will gladly accept your invitation." And through he comes up into 9th place, and that's now 2 championship points there currently for Latifi. As Pat Verstappen's also got ahead of Latifi. Sorry, no, Pat Verstappen's got ahead of Rexy Boy. Latifi just got past Andrew Pittsmith. Get with it, Andy. Rexy Boy there lost out to Pat Verstappen, and Pat Verstappen now is into 7th place. As we see, he's got actually Rexy Boy will have DRS here on Pat. Coming through this part of the track, but I think he's just a little bit too far back to make it happen. He's having a look, trying to distract Pat, trying to make him think he's going to go for a move, just trying to get him unsettled so that he starts covering his tracks and starts trying to mess about so that he can try and catch him going over old ground. But Pat Verstappen's not falling for that one. Good man. As Andrew Pittsmith's currently in the pits at the moment at the end of lap 10, lap 10. So yeah, he's just trying to link to the end of the pits, and back out onto the track he comes. But yeah, the race just a bit settled at the moment. Not a whole load of action going on now. Pat Verstappen's now pulled away a bit from Rexy Boy, and the race leader Bennett's into the pits. So the big news now, Bennett there is going to be, I assume, putting the hard tyres on from here. He's not going to get a set of mediums to the end from here. So well, you can't put the hard mediums on it anyway. So yeah, he's put the hards on, and off and away he goes. What was the gap actually between Bennett and Tezza? It was 5 seconds as Bennett came in. So yeah, basically Bennett is, because of the gap being 5 seconds, he's probably going to come out about 20 seconds behind them. Let's see. So about 20 seconds, pretty much bang on the money. 21 seconds between Tezza Mazza and Bennett. He's going to have fresh. Here's the thing. He's going to have fresher tyres at this point than the top 3, because obviously he's just put these hard tyres on. But the hard tyres generally about 0.5, 0.6 of a second slower than the mediums. So it's actually going to be, I reckon they're going to be quite even on pace at the moment. Bennett and those 3 up the front, I reckon Bennett's probably going to be on their pace. On paper, he should be about on their pace, because they're 5 laps into their stint, so they're going to have a bit of tyre wear. Their tyres are obviously going to wear out quicker as well. So I think Bennett, over the next sort of 10 laps, I'd say Bennett's probably going to have a bit of an advantage over those 3. But once we get to the last 10 laps, once we get into the business end, once Tezza, David and Ahmed, I presume, if the strategy isn't blown apart by safety cars, I assume the top 3 will probably be putting the soft tyres on for the last sort of 10 or 11 laps. And if that is the case, then they will be able to outpace Bennett. So Bennett will want to be as far ahead of them as he can be. He'll want to be as far ahead of Tezza and David as he possibly can in that final stint, if he is to make the best of it. But currently Tezza Mazza leading this race ahead of David Berry, 3.5 seconds separating those two. Those two very much in this battle for the win, and so is Bennett running in 4th place at the moment. As what's happened here, who was that in the background? I don't know, it was back marker there just behind Ahmed. We've got Joram in the comments. Good evening, welcome Joram, champion of Motorx F1 League on a Friday night, and he's looking on course to possibly make it 2 championships in the Formula 1 League here at Motive. He's currently leading this season's standings on a Friday, and he's been in imperious form over the course of the second half of the season, coming towards the business end of the season now. Joram saying would be interesting to see Mead soft tier if there's no safety car. Nobody's gone for that as far as I can see, mate. Bennett's gone for Mead's hards, so in fact Mead's softs would be a very, very ambitious roll of the dice. I think Tezza, David and Ahmed are all 2-stopping, because they stopped on lap 7. They started on the softs, did 7 laps on the softs, have now done the next 6 laps on the mediums. So what I'm going to guess is they're probably going to try and go to about lap 21 or 22 and then put the softs on for the final stint. They'll try and do about 15, 16 laps on the mediums, which will be a push, but should be possible. And then they'll probably put the softs on for the end, so they'll go soft, Mead, soft. But soft Mead seems like a very ambitious strategy indeed. I don't think anybody's going to be going for that. As I say, Bennett's the only driver who I can see has clearly opted for that one-stop strategy. He's currently running in 4th place. Rexy Boy could be going for a one-stopper. He's done 12 laps on those medium tyres that he started on. If he can extend that stint to around lap 20, he might be trying to get the softs to the end from there. Again, we'll have to keep an eye on that. Andrew Pittsmith is in the pits now, so he has put a set of soft tyres on, so he's going to have to stop again. He's not going to be able to go to the end from here. Is he going to do a quick stint on soft and then put the mediums on to the end? We'll have to see. If he pits lap 21, he can do a one stop, says Joe. I mean, in relation to Rexy Boy, I'm guessing. Yes, he should be able to. But yeah, Tezza, David and Ahmed all pitted quite early. They came in on lap 7, so they started on the soft, came in on lap 7, and then they've now run on the medium tyres, which should take them to about lap 21 or 22, and then they'll be able to put the softs on. But Bennett's currently in a race with these two, Tezza, Muzzer and David Barry, 4 seconds separating them. Bennett's also very much in that picture as well. We cannot rule Bennett LCFC out because he's definitely going to be in this fight for the win, running in P4. He's only, I think he's closed, or no, he hasn't actually closed the gap. It's not extended. He's keeping the gap at the moment to Tezza Muzzer, but I think as this stint wears on, he's going to get quicker and quicker in relation to them because he's running on the hard tyres. He will suffer much less degradation on his tyres, whereas Tezza Muzzer is on the mediums, and his tyres in about 3 or 4 laps will start to go off a little bit. Bennett's will still be in prime condition for quite a while, so I reckon in about 3 or 4 laps time, I reckon between laps 18 and 21, I reckon Bennett will definitely have the pace over Tezza and David. But right now they seem pretty even on pace, Tezza, Muzzer, David and then Bennett, so at the moment it seems pretty much like they're all matching each other. Ahmed's not really in the battle for the win. He's a little way off of the back of Tezza and David, probably going to end up, I think, down in about 7th once he pits. Although having said that, no, he'll end up in 4th because he's on the same strategy as George, Darren and Pat, so he'll actually be more or less in the same position there, to be fair. But yeah, Ahmed, I think pretty much a shoe-in for 4th place here. Bennett very much in the battle for the win. The gap between Tezza Muzzer and Bennett is about 22 seconds at the moment. It's going up actually. Tezza Muzzer continuing to pull away out the front. He's just doing the business. He's just doing what he needs to do. But his medium tyres will start to go off in a couple of laps, and that could bring Bennett into it. It could, David Barry's certainly not out of this battle for the win either. Only 4 seconds separating the top 2. If David just gets his skates on a little bit, just finds a bit of pace, if maybe he's been conserving the tyres a little bit more than Tezza, he might have a chance. He's also, I'm just noticing here, David Barry has got a lot more ERS than Tezza Muzzer has. David has got 80% ERS there. Tezza Muzzer has got practically none. He's got 13% ERS. So Tezza Muzzer here is going to be struggling with that battery. David Barry currently has got plenty left in the tank, so he should be able to close the gap a bit. That should give him maybe a couple of seconds of overall race time. I reckon a full battery, yeah, probably. I know, Gelram, if you're still watching, mate, how much race time would you say a full battery of ERS gives you over an empty battery? If you know the answer, mate, you will be doing me an absolute solid. If you can shed any light on this, it would be an absolute godsend. But nonetheless, half distance through this Singapore Grand Prix. Apologies we couldn't join for the start, guys. We just had a bit of a nightmare getting set up. Well, no, it wasn't a nightmare, to be fair. I just lost track of the time, and I was just having a good chat with Lightblade, and basically just completely forgot that I was streaming at 8. Got sidetracked. Nonetheless, we're going to be streaming a bit later on as well. It's going to be a double header tonight. We've got the purple sector on, as we have got a VSC at the moment. I think somebody's off their front wing. Is it Mike Law potentially? If he's coming into the pits, probably is Mike Law, to be honest. That's triggered that VSC. He's coming in for some damage repairs by the looks of it. He's a long way behind. Darren is also in the pits at the moment. He's just stopped in his box and he's now off and on his way. Yet you can see a front wing there going on the Alfa Romeo there of Mike Law. So he will get that sorted out and he'll be off and on his way once again. But yeah, at the moment they're just all kind of plodding along at the minute. There's not really a whole load of action. Tezza Muzzer's got a 5-second gap at the moment over David Barry, as we see Matty Pitt, Andrew and Mike Law have all picked up time penalties over the course of this race. The Mutsnars there is running in P8. He's just moved ahead of Rexy Boy and Tila Tiffy, obviously with those guys being currently in the pits at the moment. Bennett is 3 seconds behind Ahmed. He's closing that gap. He's also not got a pit again. Ahmed has. Now keeping an eye on the gap between Tezamaza and Bennett. So I said around lap 17 or 18, the gap's going to start to come down between Tezamaza and Bennett, because those two, I reckon they're going to be quite even in this race. And obviously Tezamaza's tyres, the medium tyres, will be starting to wear off at this point. Bennett's hard tyres will still be in their prime window. So the gap between Bennett and Tezamaza has come down a bit. It's under 23 seconds now. It's about 22.5 seconds currently separating Tezamaza and Bennett. So this is the part of the race where I expect Bennett's going to have to pace, and obviously Tezamaza needs to stay on his medium tyres a bit longer, because he's not going to be able to get a set of softs to the end from here. So if he wants to run on the faster tyre at the end, he's going to have to just grin and bear these medium tyres for a little bit longer here. Otherwise he'll have to put another set of mediums on, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, because he'd still have fresher tyres than Bennett, but he'd come out behind Bennett still on those medium tyres, and he'd probably come out, I'd say, about 5 seconds probably behind him, which is not ideal when you think about it. He'd have 14 laps to gain that back. He'd probably have to pace over him, to be fair. It's actually a tricky one for Tezamaza here. Does he go all out and try and hang out for the softs, or does he put the mediums on for this final stint? Nonetheless, Bennett is bringing the gap down at the moment, as we're currently on lap 17 of the race, and it's going to be a tricky decision now for Tezamaza as to what he does here, because he's very much in a battle with this man here, Bennett, who's currently just coming out that left-hand hairpin. But yeah, I reckon it's going to be pretty close between these guys. This is going to be a captivating battle all the way to the flag. The strategy is really on here, and let's hope to God we don't have a safety car, because I'll tell you what, if we have a safety car, it's going to ruin my night, and I'm going to be very upset. But Mike Law, 3-second time penalty there for multiple track limit warnings, so he's been overstepping the mark a little bit. And obviously the track limit warnings, the whole tutorial that I give, just a bit of mischief, guys. It's just a bit of harmless fun. You know the score. It's just a bit of a laugh, but nonetheless, we see Bennett at the moment coming over the line. What's the gap to Tezamaza? It's still about 22.5 seconds, so it's not really gone up, it's not really gone down, it's just staying around the same at this point. Tezamaza seems to have enough life in those medium tyres to be getting a decent lap time out of them. Bennett is keeping him, I think, guessing at this point, because he's still in a bit of a difficult position at the moment. Is Tezamaza, does he come in now, put the mediums on, have slightly faster tyres than Bennett? Obviously, if he puts the mediums on now, they'll still be wearing off at the end, and they're not going to be the faster primed tyres either, as we see Pat Stappen's in the pits at the moment, and he's been in the box already. He's put a set of mediums on, so he'll be good to go to the end from here. Joe, I'm in the comments saying that David can close the gap massively if he uses the battery good. If he delegates it in the right places, then he could definitely gain a lot of time here. He's saying he can stay up to 1 second of race pace. Also depends on tyre life. The better the tyres, the more you can gain. Yeah, I mean, he's got 5.5 seconds currently between them, so maybe he might be a bit pushed to bring that down. Tell you what, I bought a can of Monster at work earlier, and I really wish that I'd remembered to take it home with me, because I could do with it right now. It could just help me to articulate a little bit better. Tila TV's on the back of Rexy Boy here, though, in the battle for 9th and 10th places, as these two coming through this section of the track. DRS open there for Tila TV, not a bit too far back at the moment though. But Bennett within 2 seconds of Ahmed at the moment, and he's continuing to bring that gap down on tyres which are probably in a quite a bit of a better state than Ahmed's at this point. The hard tyres tend to start to go off after about 15 laps. So, well, they start to go off straight away. As soon as you've done 1 lap on them, they start to go off, but you start to notice a big difference after about 15 laps. They tend to last about 25 laps altogether. The mediums, they generally start to wear and tear after about 9 or 10 laps. You then really need to start thinking of changing them after 15, 16 laps. You can stretch it to about 17 or 18 if you're really ballsy. If you get a couple of safety cars, you might be able to do 20 on them. But yeah, you're really running the risk at that point. Softs, as a rule of thumb, you can do about 10 laps on them. As long as you haven't qualified on them, you can do a 10 lap stint on fresh soft tyres in general. but if you're really pushing, they might only last about 8 laps. And that's just a general rule of thumb, because every track's different. Some tracks are longer, some tracks are hotter, some tracks are just more demanding on the tyres due to high-speed corners and whatnot. So yeah, it's really just dependent on the physics and the fundamentals. These things play a massive part. But T Latifi looks like he's going ahead of Rexy Boy. Tezza Mazda's into the pits. So T Latifi has done Rexy Boy there up into 9th place. Tezza Mazda currently trundling through the pit lane at the moment. He's already been into the box and he's already off and on his way. He's got the mediums on, which should get him to the end. And T Latifi is out of the race. So what has happened to T Latifi? He's had a crash and it's a safety car. We have got a safety car. No. Oh no. What a disaster. Oh, I'm gutted. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Oh, that sucks. That absolutely sucks. Oh, you can see Red Bull, the T Latifi's Red Bull there just in the wall as these guys are now coming through on the scene. So that's Ahmed there, Bennett comes through, Tezza Mazda there coming through the scene, and there you see the car just vanishes into thin air as if it was never even there in the first place. So these Singaporean marshals are not just...
shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go. Through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Check, check. Here we are, we're back underway once again for the restart. They very leads us into turn one. Tezamaz has got Ahmed already all over the back of him here, coming through the turn, first couple of corners. You got Bennett there running in fourth place ahead of George SSJ, followed by Pat Stappen ahead of Darren. Rexy Boy there in eighth ahead of Matty Pitt, and Andrew Pittsmith coming into the pits on the restart. So not where you want to be on the restart for sure. You've had a few laps to do that one, mate. But David Barry's got Tezamaz Haas in the back of him coming in towards the left-hander. Is he going to send one? No, he's thinking better that one. He's a little bit too far back at the moment. You've got Ahmed ahead of Bennett ahead of George SSJ, followed by Pat Stappen, Darren ahead of Rexy Boy ahead of Matty Pitt, and Andrew Pittsmith is just coming out of the pits now, and that last lap of his was a 106.666. So yeah, not well. No, his last sector was a 106.666. So that's not ideal at all. But David Barry 4/10 ahead of Tezamaz at the moment. Ahmed's there right on the back of him as he's trying to get something done on the fresh soft tyres as well as Ahmed. So David Barry and Tezza have taken a bit of a risk here because they've gone for track position. I don't think this is going to work out for them. Bennett's gone for this fresh softs. George SSJ running in fifth place on the slightly warm medium, well not really warm to be fair, only 6 laps, but he's been on the mediums for a few laps. Pat Verstappen likewise. You got Darren who's done a couple of laps on the soft, but they're reasonably fresh at the moment. Matty Pitt is on completely fresh tyres, but he's a little way off, and we've got Andrew Pittsmith running in at the back on fresh mediums. But I think Ahmed and Bennett will definitely be coming for David and Tezza over these next few laps. I can't really see them holding him off, especially Bennett, because Bennett's going to be on a charge, and we know how quick Bennett is on those soft tyres. I don't think these guys are going to stand a chance. There's Tezamuzza coming into the pits, so wow, is he banking on a safety car here? Because he's coming in to put the soft tyres on, and he's going to lose out loads of positions here. So surely Tezamuzza's banking on a safety car. That, or he's got a drive through. Actually, you know what? I think he might have a drive through actually, because he does not appear to be stopping. So yeah, Tezamuzza picked up a drive through penalty there, and he's going to lose out on the win as a result. So that is absolutely massive there for Tezamuzza, and it's now between David, Ahmed and Bennett for the win. So what a shame there for Tezamuzza. A drive through costing him the win here in this one. Let's hope that you can see the screen. Hopefully you've been able to see the screen the whole time. Yes, you have. Good. Joe, I'm in the comments saying I have to go. I'll catch you later, Andy. Great job on comments. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. If you're still here, thank you. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Lightblade also saying, I don't know why you're surprised. This track is renowned for safety cars. Oh, I know. I was just hoping it would be an exciting strategic race, but it doesn't appear to be so at this point, as Bennett's still on the back of Ahmed, but Ahmed in a sandwich between David Barry and Bennett at this point. They've got a couple of seconds back to George running in 4th place, who's got Pat Stappen pretty close on him as well. Darren there running in 6th place. Rexy Boy has got Matty Pitt hassling the back of him as they come into this right-hander. He's trying to find a way through. Can he dip underneath him? Can he just find that gap? At the moment, Rexy Boy standing tall to any advances here from Matty Pitt as Rexy Boy a little bit deep into that little section. Can Matty get the run here in towards this left-hander which scraped against the wall? Not for the time being, he can't. Rexy Boy holding firm for now. Ahmed still on the back of David Barry as they're coming over the line here to complete lap 25. 6 laps left to go here in this one. Bennett's there right on the back of them at the moment as they're coming through the first 3 corners. And Bennett's going to be looking to try and get this done as quickly as he can on Ahmed because he'll want to chase after David for that race win. Matty Pitt's just cleared Rexy Boy, and Matty's only about 10 seconds off the lead at the moment on those fresh soft tyres. I wonder if he's going to be looking at a potential podium in this one. If he can close in on Darren, and Darren's going to have the tyre advantage over the guys in front of him, I wonder, well, podium might be a bit of a stretch. I don't know. Could be possible with 6 laps left. Darren's just done Pat up into 5th place, and that's the job done there for Darren. As well, I thought it was, but Pat looks to be coming back at him. But no, Darren holds the inside for the next corner, and he has now got that done. Or has he? Yeah, you know, he has. He has got that done now. I mean, it looked like it was a pretty hairy moment there, but yeah, that's now sorted out for him. As David currently leading the race, still ahead of Ahmed and Bennett. But Matty Pitt's 4 seconds behind Pat. He's bringing the gap down though already. He's already got it onto 4 seconds. So, Blade, please let me know. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, let's get the racing back on screen anyway. So we've got 2.5 laps left to go. It's David Barry leading this race. Bennett has got ahead of Ahmed, but he's 2.5 seconds behind David. So Bennett has got to absolutely push, like, just he's got to push like absolutely crazy here in this last 2 race. 1-2-1-2 says Light Blade. Good. Yeah, right now Bennett's in 2nd place, and he's really got to hunt down David Barry here in this battle for what could be the win. But David Barry's putting the gap out to him at this point, and David's tyres, obviously the mediums, they'll be in pretty good nick at this point. They're not going to be very worse for wear. The soft tyres of Bennett's will be starting to go off in a minute. 30 seconds a minute. Rexy Boy in the pits at the moment here on lap 29 of the race. That was my desk just shaking because my leg is literally like jostling up against it like Christian Horner's shaky leg. It's literally like it's just bobbing up and down against my desk. I was looking down like, what's that noise? I was like, yes, that explains it. But nonetheless, David Barry's got a 2.1 second gap to Bennett, so Bennett's brought the gap down a little bit in the latter stage of this race. I want to just apologise to everybody for the audio issues that we had there. It's sorted itself out now, I think. But Darren's on the back of George here, battling out over 4th and 5th places. Pat's not too far away, about a second off of these guys at this point. But David leads into turn 1 ahead of Bennett, ahead of Ahmed. And with 2 laps left to go, this is going to be pretty tight here. It's going to be exciting stuff. And Darren's out of the race. Darren has crashed out. Caution. The race control is saying no safety car with 2 laps left to go. But Darren has crashed out on the inside of the last corner. So he's just got, well, driver's just got to be careful coming to that part of the track. But looks like David Barry's pulled out a bit of a gap here to Bennett over that previous lap. So David has got that little bit of extra in the tank. Bennett has used pretty much his entire ERS, so David should be able to, definitely if he can delegate that properly over the last lap or so, he should be able to put away quite a bit. Maybe he's saving it for the last lap so he can go for a fastest lap tilt. But 2.5 seconds the gap currently. Not sure how long we were on mute for just there, but I am sorry about that, guys. I just, like Bate said, I said we're on mute and I didn't realise until he said it, and now all of a sudden it's just popped up. Oh, you know, we can't hear you, Andy, so yep, not ideal at all. Tezamaz is currently in the pits at this point. David Barry's got the gap at 2.4, so Bennett's gained a couple of tenths coming through the middle sector here. They got a couple of seconds back to Ahmed, who's running in 3rd place. Pat Verstappen's dropping off at the back of George. George is looking pretty cosy in that 4th place at this point and should be able to hold on there with that gap just staying at around the same coming through this middle part of the lap. David Barry 2.5 seconds is his gap over Bennett at the moment. Ahmed seems to be falling away off of Bennett ever so slightly as well, so the top three all pulling away from each other at this point, and David Barry on his medium tyres, you have to say, has really done a superb job. Obviously the slower tyre, but at this stage in the race it's going to be definitely an advantage to be on it, because those softs have done 9 laps, and as we know the softs do struggle once they go past about 8 or 9 laps, especially around a track like this. So David Barry here enjoying life very much so here in that AlphaTauri out the front, as he's got 2/3 of a lap off the Marina Bay circuit to go until he'll win the Purple Sector F1 League Singapore Grand Prix. As Pat Verstappen's got the gap to George now down to under a second. Does he get DRS coming down the far right? No, he doesn't. He was just outside of a second when we got into the detection point, so he doesn't. He's not able to get that DRS coming down that part of the track. David Barry out the front has got a just over 3.5 second lead at the moment over Bennett, so David Barry's still doing the business out the front, as he has got just about a third of a lap left to go. He's coming into the very closing stages here as Andrew Pittsmith is into 9th place. That is Clarky Boy ringing me there. Clarky Boy's ringing me up. Ryan, we will be jumping. I'll bring you back here in a second, mate. As that's Clarky Boy from the F2 League in Excel. We'll be commentating on Excel's F2 League in a few moments' time. We'll be on that very, very shortly. That's Clarky Boy 321 there, just giving us a ring, probably asking if we're going to be there. We will be there very soon. But David Barry coming into the final few corners of this lap here for the Singapore Grand Prix. He is going to take the win tonight. It's been a superb drive from him. He's made these medium tyres work in the last stint when Bennett and Ahmed should have had the pace advantage. David Barry has a superb job here in this Singapore Grand Prix. A track connoisseur by the looks of it. He takes the checkered flag and is your winner. Bennett comes over to take second place ahead of Ahmed, who completes the podium. George SSJ is going to come around the final corner. It's going to be a 4th place finish there for him ahead of Pat Verstappen. In fact, Pat gets it on the time penalty, so Pat 4th, George classified in 5th place in the end there in the Ferrari. It's going to be Matty Pitt, the league owner, the founder, the main man here at Purple Sector Racing League, is going to take a P6 here in this one. I'm sure he's not going to be too disappointed with that. That's some very solid points there for Matty Pitt. What can you say about David Barry though? He played the strategy perfectly here tonight. It was the right decision in the end to stay on those medium tyres. He didn't want to risk it and have to make the moves on the track. He knew he had the pace, he knew he had the confidence to take these medium tyres around the last few laps of this race, and fair play to him. He called it absolutely spot on. Well done to David Barry. Congratulations on tonight. Excellent job there from him. As we've got Rexy Boy coming up through the final few corners. Here he is. So Rexy Boy is just coming through the last part of the lap now. And yep, here he is out onto the start-finish straight. It's going to be P7 here for Rexy Boy. He'll get 6 championship points for his troubles. Not the race he'd have wanted, I'm sure. Teza Muzza with that impromptu drive-through penalty will finish a long way behind Rexy Boy, and he's just coming around the final couple of corners now. Andrew Pittsmith has already finished the race in 9th place, but Teza Muzza here out of the final corner will take 8th place here in this one. And David Barry is your race winner tonight for the Purple Sector Racing League at Singapore. Oh, we had nightmares on the audio tonight, guys. I can only apologise. I aim to be better in future. We'll be live very shortly, guys, for the F2 League at Excel. We'll be back in probably about 10 minutes' time. For that one, there'll be a one-shot quali followed by a sprint race and then a feature race after that. So yeah, don't go anywhere, stick around. We'll be back on that on the same stream. We'll just quickly whip up a thumbnail and get that ready. But guys, stick around, stay tuned, and we'll be back very shortly. have it, everybody. There's the qualifying session here at Imola for the Formula 2 League at the XL Racing League, the series where you have a one-shot qualifying session followed by a sprint race and then the feature race, which is a little bit longer than the sprint race, which is a random grid, I believe. So what happens is for this one-shot qualifying, the top 10 is essentially reversed, but in order to get to the top 10, in order to be able to start in the top 10, you have to actually qualify in the top 10. So the top 10 finishing order in that one shot is essentially just dropped on its head to make it a little bit more confusing, but a bit more exciting for us viewers here. So this one about to get going here. We've got a reasonably filled out grid, 15 cars here tonight for this Thursday night series here at Motive. Obviously this is a one-off because I usually race over at Simplay on a Thursday night, but this week they've had to cancel the race, so unfortunately on that part we weren't able to race, but obviously that loss for me is the gain obviously for XL, and obviously my gain as well, because I do love to commentate on these F2 leagues. They are absolutely brilliant, such great cars to watch in close proximity. As we lights out and away we go. Jack Spack has got a drive-through penalty for jumping the start as he swoops through up into the lead here off the line. So Jack Spack here leads the race coming up towards turn one. He's side by side with Cameron Poulter. Can Cameron hold around outside? He actually does manage to do so, and Cameron Poulter holds onto the lead, and oh no, what's going on there? Bugatti Slovan there spun it coming out of turn three, and he's lost out. He's on the grass there, as we can see. Highton has got ahead of Jack Spack up into second place. Drunk Pirate there just behind them, ahead of Andrew Pittsmith, followed by Giffy Boy, Clarky Boy in seventh, ahead of Don't G. You got Mr. Nivic ahead of J Guns Albert, and then Spectic, Bugatti Slovan ahead of Polish My Balls, Dylan and RL Beast at the back as Drunk Pirate has done Jack Spack, and Drunk Pirate up into third place here in the early stage of this race. 14 people watching the stream right now. Guys, smash the like button. This is awesome, as we got Cameron Poulter opened up a bit of a gap here over Highton right now, as Drunk Pirate pretty close on the back of him as well. Jack Spack there not too far away has got Andrew Pittsmith right on the back of him here as they come through Aqua Minerale for the first time in this race. The only corner that I know around this track, so I do try and milk it and try and talk about it as much as I can. But Clarky Boy in the midst of the pack, you've got Don't G ahead of McNivic, followed by J Guns Albert. You've got Spectic, Bugatti Slovan ahead of Push My Balls, Dylan and RL Beast, and Andrew Pittsmith has done Giffy Boy. And what's happened here? Andrew Pittsmith has gone off. He's gone off at the chicane and he's straight on. He's lost a lot of places there, and that's given it's given Clarky Boy and Don't G a position ahead of Giffy Boy there. As looking in the background, J Guns Albert's running just behind McNivic, so he looked like he lost out coming into that final hairpin. But Cameron Poulter leading the race here at the end of the first lap. He's opened up a bit of a gap. He's got 2 seconds already as Polish My Balls and Dylan are battling out over 13th and 14th places, side by side down the start-finish straight. As let's go back to the battle here in the mid-pack. You've got Spectic looking to the outside of J Guns Albert coming into turn one. The timing board has decided to neglect us here, as we can see J Guns Albert just squeezing back up the inside, and Giffy Boy, Giffy Boy's off. Giffy Boy's had a big moment there coming out of the Villeneuve chicane, and he's got to spin it back round again, but he's lost a lot of time there. As Polish My Balls wide coming out of that left-hander, and that's giving Giffy Boy the position back there. But there's lots going on here at the start of this race, and Clarky Boy's off. Clarky Boy's gone off onto the gravel there, so he's now lost out. Oh, they're dropping it left, right and centre right now. Everybody seems to be losing control at this point, as Clarky Boy now down to 14th place here in this race. Cameron Poulter leads ahead of Highton. You've got Drunk Pirate there in third ahead of Jack Spack, followed by Don't G ahead of McNivic, followed by J Guns Albert, and expected there running in 8th place. You've got Andrew Pittsmith there in 9th ahead of Dylan, followed by Giffy Boy, Polish My Balls, Bugatti Slovan ahead of Clarky Boy ahead of RL Beast, who's rounded out the classification at the moment. But it is all go here in the early lap stop this Formula 2 race here for the XL Racing League tonight. Let's go back on our Twitch stream so then they shouldn't lag too much if we're actually clicked onto the tab that it's running on. I think the lag kind of stems from the fact that you're not actually on the tab itself. But Cameron Poulter out in front seems to be enjoying life there in P1, as we can see Drunk Pirate now weighing up a move here on Highton, as they're going to be side by side here down the start finish straight. And Drunk Pirate there is going to complete that move. I think Highton gives him the space on the inside, and that is Drunk Pirate job done there. McNivic's on the back of Don't G coming up towards turn one, a little bit too far back. Spectic has done J Guns Albert around the outside into turn one. Dylan there just behind you, got Giffy Boy with Bugatti Slovan and Clarky Boy in hot pursuit right now as they're coming down towards turn one. RL Beast up into 14th place because of Jack Spack being in the pits at this point. McNivic's currently on the back of Don't G here as they're battling it out over 4th and 5th places. They've dropped off of the podium runners, obviously Drunk Pirate running a bit of drift with Cameron Poulter. Cameron, though, has managed to steal the march on them in this one so far. Has got a bit of a gap, and it doesn't seem like anybody's really able to go with him at this point. Seems like Cameron Poulter has got the measure of absolutely everybody at this point, but can Drunk Pirate, now he's in clean air, start to reel that gap down or start to neutralise that gap a bit, start to keep it around the same and put Cameron under a bit of pressure. Nonetheless, riding on board with McNivick here on lap 3 of the race is Andrew Pittsmith. Has picked up a 3-second time penalty, and so is Hyton. So both of those two picking up time penalties in unison there. And Jack's back obviously picked up a time penalty as well near the start of the race. He's running now down in 15th place here in this race, as we've got McNivick here still on the back of Don't G here. You've got Dylan currently pressuring the back of Andrew Pittsmith as they're coming down the hill towards the final corner. Cameron Poulter just at the fast step of the race there on 126.4. Dylan's down the inside of Andrew there up into 8th place. Andrew's going to try and get the run here out of the last corner if he can, and have DRS down this part of the track. And is he going to be able to use that slipstream to full effect? Here he goes as Andrew Pittsmith picking up the toe here. Dylan trying to weave around a little bit, trying to get out of that toe, but Andrew's going to come up to him and breeze past him here up into 8th place, and that is good stuff there from Andrew, and routine stuff in the end there up into P8 as Bugatti Slovens managed to get ahead of Giffy Boy up into P10, so that's nicely done there from him. But yeah, a bit of action going on right now to say the least. You've got Hyton currently on the back of Drunk Pirate as well. Dylan though trying to come back at Andrew here as they're coming into the hairpin. Is he going to be able to get a good run here? If he can get good traction out of this part of the track, he might be able to make a move. No, he just gets brake tested a bit there by Andrew as he came into the corner. Giffy Boy's on the back of Bugatti Slovan here as these two battle out over the final points position. You've got Clarky Boy very much in hot pursuit at the moment there in P12. But Hyton sticking to the back of Drunk Pirate, running in 2nd and 3rd places. To be fair, Drunk Pirate managed to make the move at him, but since then Hyton has stuck to the task really well and hasn't let that get in his way, hasn't let that stop him here in this race so far. So fair play to him, as Clarky Boy has now picked off Giffy Boy and is up into 11th place here in this race. Cameron Poulter, fastest step of the race, 1 in 25.9, first man in the 125s in this race. He is flying out the front. Dylan's on the back of Andrew Pittsmith here as these two battle out over 8th and 9th places. Hyton still out the front, has got 7/10 up the road to Drunk Pirates. He's still going after him here in this battle for 2nd and 3rd places. Dylan's still close on the back of Andrew Pittsmith right now as he's got DRS coming down this part of the track, and Andrew just, he gets out of it a bit there. Dylan looking to the inside, tags him in the rear a little bit, nowhere to go. Dylan can't squeeze through. Oh, he lost it! Dylan's there onto the gravel and he just tags the wall a little bit there, and Dylan has had a massive moment as Clarky Boy has moved through. And sorry, Giffy Boy is off as well. Giffy Boy's had a moment. So Dylan and Giffy Boy both having massive moments there, and they're dropping down the order. Don't know what's happened to Jack's back, but he's running down in P15, so he's had nothing short of a nightmare here in this race so far. Clarky Boy's on the back of Bugatti, well, he will be soon. He's closing in on him at this point. Hyton's just about a second off at the back of Drunk Pirate at the moment, but Cameron Poulter's got a 6-second gap here to Drunk Pirate and looking pretty out the front here in this one so far. Well, we're only 5 laps into the sprint race here for the XLF2 League tonight here at Imola, and we're watching RL Beast here in a sandwich between Polish My Balls and Giffy Boy. They got a few seconds back to Dylan, but RL Beast looking all over the back of Polish My Balls here as they come into the chicane. Still a little bit too far back to make anything happen at the moment. Always we see Polish My Balls very loose there as they came out of the chicane, and that might give RL Beast a bit of a run as they come down towards the hairpin. He's looking to try and send one, trying to distract Polish My Balls in the mirrors, make him think he's going to go for a manoeuvre, which he's not actually going to make. He's going to try and set Polish My Balls up for the next corner. He's waiting for Polish My Balls move, and then once he makes his move, he can then trick him and try and try and sucker him on the exit. But at the moment, Polish My Balls and RL Beast, a tenth of a second between them as they're coming down the start finish straight. Here goes RL Beast, pulls out of the slipstream now, looks to the inside, and he's going to breeze past Polish My Balls there up into 11th place. Beautiful move there from RL Beast, and that is job done there for him, as Hyton is still on the back of Drunk Pirate as these two battle it out over 2nd and 3rd, and J Guns Albert's got ahead of Spectric up into P6, around the outside of the hairpin, up the hill they come. Has J Guns got that move done? Yes, he has, and he's into P6 there. Bugatti Slovan, he is still on the back of Andrew Pittsmith, so these two battle out over 8th and 9th. Clarky Boy's running about a second and a half off of these guys, but he hasn't really reeled them in. The gap's been staying at around 1.5 seconds between Bugatti Slovan and Clarky Boy. We've got double yellow flags through sector 2, and is it, well, Polish My Balls just been passed by Giffy Boy, so Giffy Boy's up into 12th, and we're not really sure what the yellow flags are for, as it's not really evident as to anybody having lost their front wing or had a moment. So yeah, that one will have to remain a mystery, I think, until the end of time. But Spectic still on the back of J-Guns here as they're battling it out over 6th and 7th places. Polish My Balls has picked up a 3-second time penalty as we see J-Guns a little bit wide there out of the last corner. Kicks him a bit of the gravel, and Spectic here coming down the start-finish straight is pulling out of the slipstream with DRS wide open there, and breezes past up into P6. As Bugatti and Andrew battling out, and Andrew's wide, he's gone onto the grass there, he loses out to Clarky Boy. Clarky Boy gives him a bit of a tap as he comes through. Nothing Clarky Boy could do, he's just on his normal racing line, but Andrew Pittsmith has had a bit of an excursion there, and he's lost a few places, and that's promoted Clarky Boy up into 9th. And actually Clarky Boy's got some work done here on Bugatti Slovan over the last couple of laps. He's been bringing that gap down by quite a bit, so the gap's now under a second, and Clarky Boy this time round will be getting DRS on Bugatti Slovan. So Clarky Boy currently throwing the kitchen sink here at Bugatti Slovan, trying to put him under a bit of pressure if he can. For the time being though, Bugatti Slovan is holding firm. And he gets a little bit wide as I say that, coming through that Commentators. Clarky Boy will look to the outside, but he's a little bit too far back, I think. Now he's going to try to run the outside, and Clarky Boy gets it done there up into 8th place. Bugatti Slovan did not fight that at all. So Clarky Boy there up into 8th place. Maybe he just knew that Clarky Boy had more momentum, quicker driver at this point in the race. Probably Bugatti Slovan thinking, I might as well just live to fight another day there, and Clarky Boy, PA in this race, can continue to pick his way off through the pack as we're on lap 8 of 13 here at Imola for the Formula 2 sprint race here at the XL Racing League. And it's still Cameron Poulter out the front. He's got an 8-second gap at the moment over Drunk Pirate Highton, running in third place. Is about 10 seconds off of the leader at this point, as Bugatti Slovan's got back ahead of Clarky Boy. And what has happened to Clarky Boy? Nothing's happened to him. He's just made the move with DRS, but he's gone wide coming into turn 1, and Clarky Boy's going to pick him off straight away again. Oh, Bugatti Slovan's off. He's off. He's on the gravel there. He's lost out to Andrew Pittsmith as he resets the car back onto the track. Giffy Boy will be on the scene soon, you'd imagine, as J-Guns has done Spectic into the hairpin there, into 6th place. So J-Guns picking off Spectic very nicely indeed. Oh no! Bugatti Slovan's missing his front wing as he almost spins into our old beast. Oh my god! Careful, Polish My Balls coming through. There goes Dylan. And Bugatti Slovan, wow, I tell you what, that was close to tears there. Whew. But, well, he gets it back on the track, and it looks like no harm, no foul. But that was close. I tell you what, that could have been a big disaster, as J-Gun's running ahead of Spectic here, as these two continue to go at it. Oh no! As Dome G spun out, Dome G's lost it there, and he's lost out to Spectic and Clarky Boy as well. Clarky Boy there up into 7th place. How strange. Everybody seems to be losing it at this point. And Clarky Boy's just been the benefactor of all these incidents happening in front of him. He's just been able to keep it cool, stay consistent. He obviously made the mistake early on, but since then he's just brought himself back up the order. Spectic running on the back of J-Guns. He'll get some DRS down the start-finish straight, but I think he's going to get there just a little bit too late as they come into the braking zone. DRS wide open, getting a bit of closing speed there, but J-Guns holding on for the time being as they come out of turn 3 down this little stretch here into the Tamburello chicane. Andrew Pittsmith has got a 3-second time penalty we're seeing there for track limits, so the time penalties are getting handed out willy-nilly tonight. The stewards are enjoying this one. I'm not going to sit here and explain the track limit procedure on F1, I'm sure you all know by now. I usually explain it just as a little bit of a harmless joke, really, a bit of harmless banter, just you know, some will know, but it's just a bit of a laugh, you know, at the end of the day, just a bit of a joke. Like, Giffy Boy is lost out here actually, he's dropping down the order down to P13. Polish My Balls has got ahead of both Giffy Boy and Dylan. In fact, Dylan has done Giffy Boy, so Dylan there around the outside of Giffy Boy up into P12. J-Guns Albert's got a 3-second time penalty, which will bring Spectic back into that battle, but Clarky Boy in hot pursuit of these guys. They're 12 seconds behind McNivick, so I think that P5 is probably the best that Clarky Boy can hope for in this sprint race, but that wouldn't be bad for Ryan at all, considering the start of the race that he had. The first few laps did not go to plan. Spectic there a little bit wide onto the curb. Dylan's got ahead of Polish My Balls, and Polish My Balls I think is at a moment, we're just looking at the timing screen there, He's lost out to Dylan and Giffy Boy, but Clarky Boy lining up Spectic as they're side by side down the start-finish straight, and he's going to absolutely leave him for dead, you feel, coming down this part of the track. I'll tell you what, he's not really, is he? I'll tell you what. They've both got DRS, I guess, on J-Guns, so Clarky Boy hasn't got a massive advantage, and he actually breaks a lot earlier than Spectic. Spectic, brave around the outside, keeps on to P6 for now. Clarky Boy maybe knows he's got 4 laps left in this race. He doesn't need to be impatient, he doesn't need to risk it all yet. And that's very, very sensible and conservational driving there from Clarky Boy, but Spectic here still trying to put the pressure on J-Guns. Giffy Boy's got ahead of Dylan up into 11th place. We're seeing that one on the timing screen right now, but J-Guns here running in P5 ahead of Spectic and Clarky Boy right now. Double wave yellow flags through sector 1. Not quite sure what those are in aid of at this point. But we're coming towards the business end of this race for the sprint race here tonight. It's been an exciting one, I've got to say. F2 is actually probably one of the most exciting series I commentate on. Shame I can't make it every week, because I do race on a Thursday night over at Simplay, but yeah, I absolutely love these cars. It's such good fun to watch, great to commentate on. In the background, Clarky Boy, although he's done the move on Spectic, has got Spectic now looking on the back of him, coming down towards the final hairpin, as we see here Spectic looking to make a lunge up the inside, and he's going to hug that curve on the inside, and Spectic there up into P6. Gains another position there as they're coming out of the final corner. We've got 3 laps left to go here in this race, and that's a great move there from Spectic, as he's got J-Guns just up ahead of him there. Dylan is on the back of Giffy Boy as they're coming now down towards the final hairpin, looking to the outside. Giffy Boy just a little bit late on the brakes, misses the curve a little bit, but all good in the hood between those guys. Clarky Boy still trying to make something happen here with Spectic. So coming now down towards the Tamburello chicane. Here they come. Spectic just covering that middle lane on the track, just taking a slightly more defensive line than you would otherwise generally see. Clarky Boy still looking to probe and push and find a bit of weakness here on Spectic, as Dylan has got ahead of Giffy Boy and Dylan battling it out for 11th and 12th. We're going to stick with this battle here for 7th and 8th, as Clarky Boy will be wanting to get ahead of Spectic as soon as he can and try and go after J-Guns in these final couple of laps. And Spectic's got a 3-second time penalty. The thing about, let's get the penalties up, because there's no pit stops, there's no strategy really in this race. We can have a look at the penalties, we can see what the situation is. So J-Guns has got 6 seconds, Spectic's got 3 seconds, Clarky's got 3 seconds. So basically Spectic and Clarky Boy need to stay within striking distance of J-Guns, and they will both be able to pick up a position each. Clarky Boy needs to get this position done on Spectic if he wants to finish in P5, because then he'll be able to obviously get J-Guns on the penalties, as long as he doesn't lose too much time getting past Spectic. But 2 laps left to go here in this race. Cameron Poulter, RRL, Drunk Pirate, McNivick, Don't G, RRL Beast and Dylan, those 6 are the only good boys tonight. Everybody else has been catching the wrong side of the stewards over the course of this race. They've all been picking up time penalties over the course of this one. They've been overstepping the track limits, and as such penalties have been awarded. Clarky Boy fastest first sector of the race so far, as J-Gun's a little bit wide there coming out of that hairpin, but Clarky Boy on a charge here as the fuel loads are starting to drop down a little bit, and obviously when the fuel loads get lighter the cars get a little bit more easier to drive, and be able to maximise the pace out of them just that a little bit more. As we have got double waved yellow flags through sector 1 and sector 2. Bugatti Slovan has got ahead of Dylan there up into 12. Oh, and Dylan, what's happened here? Dylan has lost out here to Polish My Balls as well, so Polish My Balls is up in position, and Dylan losing out massively, and Spectic and Clarky Boy still banning it out, but Clarky Boy's now made the move on Spectic. So he's up into P6's Clarky Boy. Spectic, though, will get DRS coming down the start-finish straight. If he can keep himself there, if he can keep himself in striking distance, Clarky Boy is almost dropping off out of a second of J-Guns. Does he keep himself within that range? I tell you what, Clarky Boy's lost DRS on J-Guns, and that will leave him vulnerable. No, he does just get DRS, so he must have been just within the detection point, so he does get the DRS, which will help him defend from Spectic. Spectic is going to try and look to the inside. Clarky Boy a little bit too far ahead and is able to hold on. Clarky Boy will get P5 in this race because J-Guns has got a 9-second penalty, so J-Guns might even end up losing out to Don't G, running in 8th place here in this race. But Clarky Boy currently on course for a P5, which would be a good result for him. Damage limitation in this race after the nightmare of a start to this one, there's no other word for it. Cameron Poulter's out the front, is doing what he needs to do. He's coming through the final, he's coming into the final hairpin now, so he's nearly at the end of the lap. And Cameron Poulter, what can you say? He has done an absolutely fantastic job here tonight. Out of the last corner he comes, he's weaving around, he's already celebrating here as he comes up towards the line as Jack Spack's got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits. What's he doing in the pits at this stage in the race? Nonetheless, Cameron Poulter comes over to take the win here at Imola, and that is a superb job there from Cameron Poulter. Takes the checkered flag and blows them all away. Drunk Pirate comes over to take second place here in this race, 11 seconds behind. Heighton is going to come around to take fourth because McNivick gets it on the penalty. So McNivick third, Heighton classified in fourth place here tonight. J Guns coming through the final corner, and he's going to be P5 in this race, J Guns, as he's just going to hold off Clarky Boy on the track, but Clarky Boy gets P5 on the penalty. So Clarky Boy fifth, Spectic sixth, J Guns comes home in seventh place here in this one. Don't G over in seventh with J Guns' penalty. So actually J Guns lost a lot of places at the end there. RL Beast takes ninth ahead of Andrew Pittsmith, who completes the top 10. Giffy Boy coming up towards the line, P11, not the race that he would have wanted, I'm sure. He'll be a bit disappointed with that one. Bugatti Slovan coming up towards the line, 12th place in this race for him. Dylan coming up towards the line, he will lose out to Polish My Balls for P13 with the penalty, so Dylan will drop to 14th. So Polish My Balls 13th and Dylan in P14. And that is that then for the sprint race here, guys. We'll be back in a couple of minutes, literally a couple of minutes. Will be no time getting the feature race on, so stick around and we'll have that on very, very shortly. In this race, Drunk Pirate is already a bit of a way behind. Cameron Poulter fastest up in the race on lap 2 of the race, already in the 127s on what is reasonably heavy fuel at this point. DRS will be enabled on this lap, but not down this start-finish straight. And into turn 1 we come here for the third time. Drunk Pirate trying to do something here with Heighton is also in the background. You've got Giffy Boy pretty close on the back of Dylan as well. And we can see Giffy Boy looking down the inside of Dylan in towards Tamburello, and Giffy Boy gets that one done up into P5. Spectic in the pits at the moment. McNivick there is running just behind Don't G as these two battle it out over 7th and 8th places. Polish My Balls is dropped off of J Guns by a couple of seconds. Drunk Pirate is on the back of Heighton. He's having a little look into the left hand at the top of the hill. I always forget that name. I know 3 corner names around this track. That's Villeneuve Chicane, Tamburello Chicane, and this one, Aquamilla Raleigh, which they're just coming into now. But Drunk Pirate still trying to find a way through onto podium spots here in this race. Dylan trying to get the run here on Giffy Boy out of Aquamilla Raleigh towards the chicane. They have the inside line, and Dylan seems to have got that one done. Giffy Boy's going to try and hold it around the outside, but to no avail. Dylan there up into 5th place. McNivick there on the back of Don't G as they're battling out over 7th and 8th places here. Don't G though keeping it together coming through the chicane. Spectic's in the pits at the moment. Don't G's on the back of Polish My Balls. Keep half an eye on that one as Andrew could be able to do a bit of damage there from that position. You've got Giffy Boy on the back of Dylan, and Drunk Pirate's gone ahead of Heighton now up into 3rd place. So coming down the start finish straight, that is Drunk Pirate now in P3 as Giffy Boy has made the move on Dylan around the outside into turn 1. So Giffy Boy there into P5. McNivick there has got ahead of Don't G up into 7th as well. So there's moves going on left, right and centre. There's a lot of chopping and changing as Andrew's on the back of Polish My Balls coming down towards turn 1. He's going to use that DRS. He's going to pull to the outside. A bit of grass there as he gets onto the outside. But Andrew Pittsmith, I think, is going to get that done. Yep, he squeezes around the outside there and he is up into 10th place. So that's brilliantly done there from Andrew Pittsmith. But Don't G still on the back of McNivick right now as those two battle it out over 7th and 8th places. Heighton running in 4th place is still on the back of Drunk Pirate. Spectic has picked up a 3-second time penalty there for multiple track limit warnings we're seeing on the screen. So that's obviously not what he would have needed at this point. So he'll be, I assume, dropping down the order a little bit. Well, he's already in P13, so it's not actually, no, probably no point in worrying about that time penalty, to be fair, Spectic. But we've got currently Giffy Boy on the back of Highton and Dylan in hot pursuit. Leaders looking like Drunk Pirates closing onto the back of Clarky Boy a little bit. You can see he's looming large, but Clarky Boy holding his own at the moment. But Cameron Poulter is just ridden off into the sunset. He's jumped on his horse. He said, "See you later, chaps. I'm off. We all gold. Cheerio." And he's gone and ridden off into the sunset, and away he goes. But Drunk Pirate on the back of Clarky Boy here, 6/10 between them coming into turn one. He's a little bit too far back at the moment. It's Drunk Pirate. You've got Giffy Boy on the back of Highton. You've got Dylan there right in the thick of it. Bit of a gap back to McNivick, who's got Don't G still on the back of him. Jay Guns there is running a bit ahead of Andrew Pittsmith. You've got Polish My Balls there a bit behind Andrew, and Bugatti, Slovan and Spectic still going here in this race. But Drunk Pirates still got Highton all over him as they're coming. Drunk Pirates already still all over the back of Clarky Boy, and Giffy Boy's still all over the back of Highton here. As there's two battles going on within a couple of 100 metres of each other. But this is absolutely fantastic racing here tonight at Imola for the Formula 2. We had a fantastic sprint race. The feature race has not disappointed either so far. And these battles for the podium spot are really, really exciting me at this point. But currently Clarky Boy still holding on to that P2 as Spectic's got a 3-second time penalty again. Spectic. Calm down. But Drunk Pirate here on the back of Clarky Boy coming in. I don't know whether I was telling myself to calm down or telling Spectic to calm down. Oh my god. Clarky Boy and Drunk Pirate are coming out of the last corner. I haven't stepped for a while, by the way, so there could be a bit of deliriousness going on the stream tonight. But nonetheless, Drunk Pirate is on the back of Clarky Boy here, coming down the start-finish straight as he's going to get the DRS here, and Clarky Boy's going to have absolutely no defence as Drunk Pirate goes to the inside and makes the move up into second place. Who is this off the track? Spectic. Okay, no, cool, never mind. No, Spectic just having a bit of a laugh here by the looks of it. Doesn't seem to be taking things all too seriously at this stage. You can't blame him, I suppose. He's not really in a position where he's going to make too much happen in this race, so I suppose he might as well just mess around. But Highton's still ahead of Giffy Boy, with Dylan just behind them at this point, as those guys are battling it out over 4th, 5th and 6th places here on lap 6 of 18 for this feature race. You've got Clarky Boy still on the back of Drunk Pirates. They're battling it out over 2nd and 3rd places here. But a little way into this feature race at the moment, and Clarky Boy still trying to throw the kitchen sink here at Drunk Pirate. Giffy Boy on the back of Highton as they're coming up the hill towards the chicane. And here goes Giffy Boy then. Is he going to try to make this? No, can't get it done there. Highton though, holding it. I'll tell you what, Dylan though is looking at the inside of Highton. Giffy Boy's looking at the inside of Giffy Boy's looking at the inside of Dylan. And is he going to make that move into the final corner? Still side by side. Giffy Boy managing to do a good job there of keeping it around the outside. Dylan can't get anything done there up the inside of the final corner, and Giffy Boy holds onto that one for the time being. Clarky Boy still sticking to the back of Drunk Pirate despite losing the position. He's not fallen away from him. He's still very much in that battle. Half a second between them with the DRS there, bringing Clarky Boy that little bit closer as Giffy Boy's got ahead of Highton. Highton's now back ahead of Dylan coming into the braking zone. So these three still going at it. Highton there's on the inside of Dylan here as he squeezes back through and does that brilliantly there up into 5th place. Dylan had to get out of that, I think, as Highton would have run him wide otherwise, but good racing, good marshalling from those two. As Spectic is in the pits again, so he's probably getting some damage repaired, I would imagine. Let's hope the damage isn't too severe and he doesn't spend too long in there. But Dylan's currently on the back of Highton here, as we've got half a second currently separating those two. At this particular point in the race, Cameron Poulter is out the front. He's got a 6-second gap at the moment over Drunk Pirate, and Dylan's here is on the back of Highton as they're battling it out over 5th and 6th places. Spectic's still in the pit, so it looks like he's been in there for quite a while. J Guns, Polish My Balls, both with time penalties in this race so far. Highton's pretty close on the back of Giffy Boy. Dylan just waiting in the wings, hoping to pounce if he can. But Spectic is now out of the pits and back out on his way again. Oh god, he's put another 3-second time penalty. Nonetheless, here lap 7 of the race going on to lap 8, and we can see Dylan here with the slipstream They have DRS here on Highton, but does Highton have DRS on Giffy Boy? That's the question. Yeah, he does have the DRS on Giffy Boy, but Dylan nonetheless, it goes down the inside there of Highton and moves himself up into 5th place. So nicely done there. Not really DRS aided, I wouldn't say, because they both have DRS on Giffy Boy, and Dylan just managed to get the slipstream to work to perfection. But yeah, coming up to the halfway point in this feature race, mandatory pit stop for the feature race, so they've all got to come in at some point and make that pit stop. When they do it though, it's up to them. I imagine they'll probably try and go 11 laps, 10 or 11 laps on the mediums and then put the softs on. That to me seems like the obvious strategy. Oh my goodness me. But yeah, Highton's still close on the back of Dylan right now then. And Clarky Boy's dropped off at the back of Drunk Pirate, but Clarky Boy seems to have a good gap back to Giffy Boys. We're just keeping an eye on that one on the timing screen. We're still watching Dylan though, on the back of Giffy Boy and just in front of Highton. But Giffy Boy seems to have taken this opportunity with those two behind him fighting and has just broken away that little bit here from Dylan and Highton. As Polish My Balls has picked up a 3-second time penalty there, so he seems to be racking him up a bit over the course of this race. Highton still on the back of Dylan. Did Dylan get DRS there on Giffy Boy? You just no, he didn't. No, he didn't actually. Highton though wasn't close enough to make anything happen there coming into turn 1. But nearly there, just about a second off of the back of these guys there running in P7. Clarky Boy still on the back of Drunk Pirate at the moment, as Highton is still putting the pressure on Dylan here for 5th and 6th places here. I mean, Nivic though is joining that battle as well. He's not too far away. Could be a potential thorn in the side for these two as they're scrapping it out with each other. But nonetheless, Nivic now looking pretty close on the back of Highton here. Where's my headphone gone? There it is. But currently McNevic here is on the back of these two as Cameron Poulter's just on the fastest up for the race there at 1 minute 26.7, so he's going quicker and quicker over the course of this race. Let's jump on board with McNevic here as they're coming out of the last corner. He will use the DRS here down the start finish. That will help him to possibly breeze past Highton here as Dylan's in the pits at the end of lap 9, so pitting at the halfway point. Bit early to put the soft on, but he's going for it as McNevic just a little bit too far back to make the move on Highton there coming into turn 1. Spectic has left the session, so what a shame there for him. He is now left at the halfway point as Andrew Pipsmith has just got ahead of these other drivers here. McNevic's currently on the back of Highton still as these two battling out over 5th and 6th places. Clarky Boy's still on the podium. He's keeping the gap at around 3 seconds to Giffy Boy, so as long as he keeps up the pace that he's doing right now, Clarky Boy should be good to finish in P3 in this race. Dylan's in the pits. He's just coming out of the pits now, so he's come out just behind Polish My Balls, and he's 3 seconds off of a point here in this race. McNevic though is trying to hassle Highton as they come out of Aqua Minerale here for the 10th time. Having a little look, showing him the nose of that high-tech GP car. Didn't actually know the name of it until I just looked on the right hand side of the halo and read high-tech GP, and I assume that's the name of the car. But coming down the hill into the hairpin, and McNevic there closing a bit on Highton but not by enough, and Drunk Pirate's into the pits here at the end of lap 10, so he's now in the pits and trundling through that pit lane as we speak. McNevic there, P4, and we see Giffy Boy and Highton are both coming in as well, so these three, Drunk Pirate, Giffy Boy and Highton, all coming in and getting their pit stop served and out of the way. Cameron Poulter though out in front and leading this race and doing an absolutely fantastic job here tonight. Hyton's on the back of Polish My Balls here, coming down the start from this straight. He's got DRS and he's making the move here down the inside. And he's got that one done there up into P6, so that's brilliantly done there from Dylan. Hyton still putting the pressure on Giffy Boy here as they're battling it out over 8th and 9th places. Bugatti Slovan is all over Don't G here, and he's looking for a way around him. Looking to the inside, but Don't G's just got that one covered at the moment. And yeah, he's looking pretty solid at the moment, is Don't G, looking like quite a tough cookie to crack at this point. Always Polish My Balls getting a little bit loose out of the left-hander at the top of the hill, and that's going to allow Giffy Boy to pull alongside, side by side, coming into that Raleigh. This could get tasty here. This could get tricky, but Giffy Boy around the outside, and that is a superb move there. And Hyton following him through as well. So Hyton is going to try and move through ahead of Polish My Balls. Polish My Balls off the inside for the chicane, but Hyton gets that one done around the outside into 8th place. J Guns has got ahead of McNivick. That's because McNivick is in the pits, and off and away he goes once again. Back to the battle for 7th, 8th and 9th though between Giffy Boy, Hyton and Polish My Balls. Polish My Balls lost out to both of these two on this lap so far. He's still yet to pit, so he's obviously on a different strategy essentially from these guys. McNivick, where's he going to come out after that pit stop? Spectix just left the session, so didn't even realise he was still here. But nonetheless, McNivick back out on the track once again here as Hyton's on the back of Giffy Boy. Don't G and Bugatti Slovan both jumping Polish My Balls in the pits, and Polish My Balls still in that box, and it looks like Andrew Pittsmith has got ahead of him there up into 11th place, should I say. Hyton's still on the back of Giffy Boy here. There's a half a second currently separating those two at this stage. Bugatti Slovan is on the back of Don't G here as he comes into this left-hand hairpin. As Cameron Poulter's in the pits now, he's trundling through that pit lane towards the exit. J Guns is also in now. Has Cameron's drunk by miles. The net race leader coming back out, and he is in daylight right now. Is there a mandatory pit in F2? I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is a mandatory pit in F2. Yeah, there definitely is. I'm sure there is. But yeah, Clarky Boy should be good in that one. I think Clarky Boy should be in for a P2 in this race. If he stays where he's right, if he continues to do the pace he's been doing over the course of this race, I think he should be able to P3 in this race, because he's obviously been passed by Drunk Pirate before that. So yeah, I think he should be all good. Hyton here is on the back of Giffy Boy. They're continuing to battle out over 6th and 7th places just here. As the race leader's now in, so Clarky Boy is on his way in right now, and through the pit lane he comes, presumably going to put a set of soft tyres on and go to the end. I wonder if Clarky Boy can get the jump on Drunk Pirate. He wasn't too far behind him before the pit window. There is Clarky Boy, just putting the soft tyres on. Cameron Poulter coming down the start-finish straight, so Cameron Poulter will reassume the lead of the race and will continue to probably dominate the end of this race. Clarky Boy just coming down the pits now. There's Drunk Pirate, so Drunk Pirate is going to hold on to P2, but Clarky Boy there, P3, I think, will be able to finish on the podium here in this feature race. Cameron Poulter on another level tonight. Drunk Pirate close, but not close enough. But Clarky Boy best of the rest, and he's currently clinging on for dear life here ahead of Dylan. Dylan's coming for him in these final few laps, as we've got 5 laps left to go here at Imola for the second race of the evening, the final race of this evening here on the Motive channel for the feature race. For fuck's sake, how long have we been on the hub screen for? Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh my god. Please, next time this happens, can somebody ring me? Game for Life and Simon Hall both chiming in the comments saying that they couldn't see anything. Oh my god. Thank you, boys. Next time, please just ring me on Discord or something. I am so sorry to everybody. You've just had a radio commentary for this entire race. Oh my days. I'm a complete and utter melon. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Oh my god. I'm such a twat. I really am. Nonetheless, Clarky boy just ahead of Dylan here as they're coming down the start finish. 4 laps left to go here in this race. Dylan a little bit too far. Oh, it's really fucked me off, that is, man. That's seriously fucked me off. I'm so annoyed about that. I'm so annoyed. I can't believe I did that. It's because the stream is running so badly when I'm not on OBS, so I haven't had OBS on the screen due to that. As we see Dylan there McNivick going wide and allowing Dylan back through for 4th place as these two continue to battle it out with 4 laps left to go here in this race. But it's a 4-lap dash to the flag, and thanks to everybody who's been tuning in for this radio commentary here tonight for this feature race. We had the entirety of the sprint race on, but this feature race we've had basically just a photo of the thumbnail for the entire race. For God's sake, Andy, what is wrong with you? I just want to apologise to everybody who's in the race, looking forward to seeing it back and hasn't been able to enjoy it properly. But nonetheless, Clarky boy here running in the final podium spot. Has got Dylan on the back of him here. McNivick there running in 5th place at this point. I think it's just tiredness. I think it's just fatigue. My mind's gone. I need to get need to get good sleep tonight, or try. It's not easy. Nonetheless, Clarky boy running ahead of Dylan here. They're coming down the start finish straight for the 16th time here in this race. You've got McNivick there running into 5th ahead of Giffy boy running in P6. Highton there in 7th. Don't G there running a little way behind in 8th place at this point. You've got Bugatti Slovan there in P9 ahead of J Guns. Clarky boys gap Dylan by a little bit here, 1.3 now separating those two in 3rd and 4th. McNivick there in 5th place, looking to the outside of Dylan into turn 1, but Dylan covering that inside line off and not allowing any ways through there for him. As we've got double HO flags through sector 1 and 2, and that's because Giffy boy's off. Oh, Giffy boy's spun it onto the gravel there, and he's had a massive moment. He's probably going to lose out. He's lost out to Highton, so he's down to P7. He's rejoined just in front of Don't G, so he's holding on to P7 just about at the moment here. Oh no, what a shame there for him. As McNivick's on the back of Dylan as he's just getting the run out of Malcolm and Orale, and McNivick there freezes past up into 4th place. Dylan with no response there. These two though dropped off a little bit off of Clarky boy there, who's running in 3rd place in this one. Cameron Pulse to the race leaders on the final lap. He's got just under 10 seconds of a gap here to Drunk Pirate, so he's looking very, very good indeed for his money. wish there was a way to rewind on Twitch streams, man. You know what? I think we can. I think we can rewind it. I'll tell you what, yeah, we can rewind it. I think I need to end the stream and then I need to broadcast it through OBS again. So guys, what we're going to do, I have actually recorded the entire race. So what we'll do is, I think we've recorded, you know what, I'm not even sure if we have. Oh, Liberty Jibbadoos. As we've got Heights in there ahead of McNivet now into P5. Cameron Poulter coming through the final few corners though here at Imola, and it's been a fantastic drive from him. He's been the class of the field, he's had the pace over everybody else. Drunk Pirate was the only one who could really even remotely compete with him, but even Drunk Pirate wasn't on the level of Cameron Poulter today. He's going to make it 2 from 2 here at the Emilia-Romagna circuit as he comes out of the last corner. It's a bit of weaving and it's a bit of showboating here from Cameron Poulter. It's up towards the line. He takes the checkered flag and it's the double win here tonight for Cameron Poulter. What a superb job from this man here as he's 10 seconds clear of Drunk Pirate, who comes over to take second place. The reigning champ Drunk Pirate making an appearance tonight. Could not compete with Cameron Poulter though. Clarky boy out of the last corner is going to take a podium and I'm sure he'll be pretty happy with that. Fair play, Ryan. Did a good job here tonight in this one. Dylan there over the line in P4. But a 5th and a 3rd for Clarky boy. That's going to be good for him. No, he misses out on the time penalties. So Dylan gets stirred on the time penalties there. Gets a podium spot. Nicks it off of Clarky boy at the end. Heighton comes over to take P5 ahead of McNivick, who finishes in 6th place. Giffy boy comes over in 7th ahead of Don't G, who crosses the line in P8.